What up YouTube, it's Ethan here from ESDR Gaming. In this video I'm gonna talk about my prediction on the upcoming July banlist, solely based on my personal experience and thoughts. Don't hesitate to drop your own prediction as well down at the comment section below. And alright, let's get right into the agenda. Alright, we will quickly go through the previous banlist first, then I will pull up some data from roadoftheking and NTUCGM to see the metagame breakdown. After that, let's go through some deck analysis on the top performing decks and see what needs to get hit. And then before we sum up, let's take a look on the most used card and what needs to get unbanned and so forth. Okay, the previous ban list was pretty simple, I would say. The only hit was Tempest Magician and VFD for yugioh. As you can see, Zodiac was left untouched despite consistently holding the second spot during the last season. With that, we can kind of conclude that Konami are being quite conservative on it, or maybe it's just because the environment is actually quite diverse, where the top decks are holding around 20% of the representation only. Yeah, who knows. And from the ban list, we can also see that Konami is trying to boost some archetype as well. For example, Pendulums, ABC, Elder Guys, Thunder Dragons, Sky Striker, things like that. But for those who are currently playing, you know that this does basically nothing. And yeah, because the top performing decks aren't any of these. So alright, up to the metagame breakdown. Alright, the table over here represents the weekly top 3 decks which I got from the ROTK. Shoutouts to them. And yugioh is losing his crown straight right after the ban list. So Tri-Brigade dominates from first week of April until today, where Zodiac follows behind. So as we progress, we can see that people give up Zodiac, and more of the people are favoring back to yugioh, despite VFD went to 1. So the top 1 and 2 basically remain unchanged throughout the entire season. Let's take a look on the data from NTUCGM. Alright, the obvious similarity between the data from roadoftheking and NTUCGM was that Tri-Brigade dominates as well, with some of it have 30%, which is pretty absurd, I would say. And then the most common appearance on top 2 and 3 was yugioh and Zodiac as well, but Zodiac started to fade off after week number 3. So kind of amazing, isn't it? Starting off from week 0, it's like everyone has the common ground that Tri-Brigade is the best deck, and it just dominates from there ever since. Alright, some worth mentioning deck is like Endymion and Code Talker, which is doing pretty well as well. Right, let's move on to the deck analysis. As I said earlier, since Konami is being conservative lately, I mean on the ban list, I will just be covering the top 2 performing decks, which is Tri-Brigade and yugioh. Alright, starting off with Tri-Brigade. For those who don't know, let me give some introduction for you about this deck. Alright, they are basically a mid-range deck. I like those combo decks which aims to set up a massive unbreakable board turn 1, but they rather to set up a 1 or 2 interruptions with some follow-up plays. But the scary thing about them is how easily they can summon up SS Code Talker going for OTKs. Besides, they are super consistent. The only opening hand they need was Fractal, not to mention it can be searched off from Tanky. Alright, their Link for Shurak provides them a non-targeting banish, which is also very powerful. Alongside with that, they have one, if not the most powerful trap card, which is the Tri-Brigade Revolt. which allows them to special summon Shurak on their opponent's turn to interrupt their plays, while also providing some follow-up plays because you tend to recycle the monster from your banished pile back to your graveyard. And on top of that, the trap is searchable off Bear Bloom, which makes it even broken. And if you think the trap alone is scary, they can even set up board with Apollosa and double Dragon Lord going first, and with the trap, yeah. So it's pretty hard to break if you don't draw into some specific cards. Alright, with the recent release of the lyric support, it definitely provides a lot of playstyle to this archetype, I would say. It synergizes very well for both the Zodiac and Lyric. But the most common build nowadays was the Zodiac Tri-Brigade. With Zodiac means immediate access to Sky Thunder, which is very powerful as well. And they doesn't lose to Lancia nor Dimension Barrier, unlike pure Zodiac. If they ever got Lancia, they can continue with the Zodiac plays. With all that being said, I think they are still fairly new into this scene, which means I doubt Konami is going to hit hard on them. So for me, the most reasonable hit is to semi-limit Tanky or Fractal, or both of them, in order to decrease some of their consistency, as both of these are their main star card, Tanky or Fractal. Alright, let's move on to the next top performing deck, which is the Virtual World. Okay, Virtual World still doing pretty well in this current format despite VFD being limited to 1. More often than not, sometimes 1 VFD is the only thing you need to win games. The deck is very well designed. You can mill, you can search, special summon, recycle. You even have spell that negates and trap that pops. Yeah, you have it all. And most importantly, their monster activates from the hand, which makes your opponent's Veiler and Permanence useless, because people tend to adopt in this Tri-Brigade heavy format. The only reasonable hit I would think of is to ban VFD, because in some point it does definitely block some back during experience to the players. It's just like Utopic deck, so it needs to go. Not to mention Virtual World is not the only one that plays VFD. Some decks also build their system around VFD, because one Needle Fiber brings you to VFD. Speaking of Needle Fiber, do you guys think it need to get banned? Let me know down in the comment section below. Alright, let's see the most used card for this season. These are the lists I compiled during last seasons while I also doing the Banlist predictions. So those I have crossed out, one has significant drop in use for this current format. Scoutmeister and Drone Lockbird mainly for Drytron, but they just kinda disappear even though they are left untouched. I mean Drytron. Cosmic are seeing less play because obviously the majority of people are playing Tri-Brigade and Virtual World, and people tend to side Lancia against them, so they are most likely not playing this card. And not to mention L-Leech is slowly fading away. So up to the Floodgates, since L-Leech drops, and so does Skill Drain. So same thing for the Macrocosmo, because it was heavily adopted by Zodiac previously, and Zodiac are getting less representation now. Yeah, so you got my point. Some new appearance like a Ghost Bell, Triple Tactics, Mystic Mind, and Anti-Spell Fragrance. Yeah, they are mostly used against Tri-Brigade or as a protection for Tri-Brigade players, while the rest remain the same, I would say. Still widely adopted by many people. That's what they call a staple nowadays. Is there any unfair cards over here? Prankatops, Call By, and Red Reboot are the cards that get hit recently. Oh yeah, should Mystic Mind be banned though? Or is it a necessary evil? Does it promote degeneracy, or is it serves a purpose to counter some of the top performing decks? I will leave this right here. Alright, anything need to get off from the ban list. As we can see from the previous ban list, Konami tend to release some of the cards on and off. or should I put it this way, if you don't plan to ban any of the cards from the top performing deck, at least let out some of the monster from the ban list to compete with them, you know what I'm saying. Alright, starting off with ABC. On the previous ban list, we are seeing Hanger to 2, and it did nothing for them. So I think Konami might as well put the ABC Dragon Buster back to 2, or even have Hanger back to 3. And then for Thunder Dragons, we are seeing a Law of Darkness back to 3. It's not entirely for Thunder Dragon, although it's been semi-limited due to them at the first place. Why not have Raw to 3 or Hawk to 2? I'm not going to ask for 2 Colossus, even though I don't think that would do much in this current format. For Auto Guys, for the past previous ban lists, we have Anti-Spoofing back to 3, we have Malasik back to 3 as well, and they are still not doing well. So I think why not let's have Multifaker back to 2, shall we? And for the Pendulum, they are being there for quite some times. I mean, those in the limited list. Why not bring up like one of the Pendulum supports over here, like just any of those back to 2. I don't think that's asking too much. Yeah, we just want to see more decks in this competitive scene, that's all. Alright, let's sum up. For the Forbidden, we have VFD, and nodding over the limited, Konami might release some of the cards from the Forbidden list with Errata, who knows. That's too subjective to judge. For the semi-limited, I think it would be Tanky and Fractal, or either one of them. And then for those which is getting some release, we have ABC Multifaker and Thunder Dragon Hawk. Yeah, that's it for my prediction on this upcoming OCG July ban list. I think this would be a pretty Konami style, I would say. Alright, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment down below on your prediction as well. Too bad the pandemic is pretty bad recently in our country, and so there isn't any tournament replay. Anyway, stay safe guys. It's Ethan here signing out. I will catch you guys up in the next video. Peace.